Meanwhile, back here on Earth, a closer look at President Biden's budget proposal, including record spending for nearly every corner of government except for defense. Reaction now from the Heritage Foundation Vice President of National Security and Foreign Policy, Lieutenant Colonel Jim Carafano. So, Colonel, are we shortchanging our military here?
Absolutely. You know, we spent 4 years under the past administration rebuilding the military, and that's really good. But that job is not done. So this is like stopping in the middle of your antibiotic treatment or halfway through your chemo. So there's a lot of rebuilding left to do. Plus, we have military readiness. The problem with this budget is it doesn't even cover the cost of inflation. And that's a real problem for the military because the military really can't adjust to inflationary costs. They have to do cost of living raises. They have to pay for fuel increases, for cost increases for fuel, for example. So the military is actually going to have less buying power. And this is at a time when we're just modernizing, buying new equipment. So it really couldn't come at a worse time. And it sends exactly the wrong message to Russia and China because they don't have to purchase the way we do. They have what's called purchase power parity. Their money goes a lot farther. They don't pay their people in the military as much. So their military spending is actually going up. And in real term, ours is going down. So it does kind of send the wrong message to both our enemies and our allies.
And the Wall Street Journal today talked about the consequences of that, particularly in dealing with Russia and Germany. They say the blunt truth is that the U.S. is no longer certain to win a great power war. Russia is surging forces near the Ukraine, and China's military maneuvers in the Western Pacific are at a new level of intensity. And then it goes on to say if, in fact, push comes to shove over Taiwan, for example, with the Chinese, the U.S. would lose.
So we do this a project every year. It's called the Index of U.S. Military Strength. It's on our website, heritage.org. And we actually measure this. And we started to say, well, the United States really needs to be able to fight two conflicts so we don't get tied up in one and then somebody else does something behind our back. What we're talking about is that if we spend on this trajectory, we'll get to a point where we can't win one conflict. And this is not just a DOD problem. The other department that took a big hit was the Department of Homeland Security that got even less money. And they're burning through all this cash in the border crisis, but they're actually going to get less money to do all the stuff that they do, from the Coast Guard to TSA at the airports. It's a very out of balance budget.
And you know, the Russians and the Chinese have seen this script before because with the Obama-Biden administration, we know what happened with the Ukraine. I mean, they walked right into the Crimea and you know, we shouted a little about it, but that was it. They're still there. I'm just wondering if we would do anything if China went into Taiwan.
Well, in an age when, look, China doesn't want a war, Russia doesn't want a war, Iran doesn't want a war,
but they want Taiwan. China does want Taiwan. Perhaps they're willing to risk a war to do it.
But the point is, a lot of people that don't want wars wind up in wars. In an age of great power competition, conventional and strategic deterrence like nuclear missile defense, this is the world's safety net. This is our safety net. This is to prevent a really bad day where you're faced like, should we go to war over Taiwan or not? To take the safety net off the table, that is the height of irresponsibility. It's exactly what Obama did, and it seems like Biden is taking a page out of the exact same playbook.
It's the same thing all over again. Colonel Carafano, good to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.